Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Loris Caruana, and I'm the trainer for today. Let's wait a couple of minutes before the other participants will join. I see there are 8 people in the room, and we expect 12 more to join us today. Thank you. Okay, thank you for waiting. So maybe we can start. I introduce myself again. I'm Loris Caruana, and I work for Questel since 4 years as a help desk agent. I'm European help desk coordinator and trainer of Orbit products. Today we will go through the basic training program for Orbit Intelligence, which is the core product of Questel, and it is mainly used for patent searching and analysis. You are all on mute, so if you have any questions or any queries on what you see, or if something is not clear, I kindly invite you to write in the chat, and we will go through your questions at the end of this session. This session is recorded, and if you have subscribed with an official email address belonging to a company, you will receive a follow-up message tomorrow with the link to this recording. So you probably see my screen on the right, and this is the basic agenda for today. So we will go through introduction to different type of searches. We will talk mainly about the advanced search, handling results, the assignee search, and save and export records. Let's talk about the interface first. Once you have a license for Orbit Intelligence, you can connect to orbit.com, and you will see this login page where you have to enter your email address that is registered in our portals with a password, and then you can log in. Just for information, the interface of Orbit Intelligence is available in 5 different languages: English, German, French, Japanese, and Chinese. There are some links in the login page, like the forgot password link, and a link to the new features of Orbit Intelligence. Once you click on this link, you will be redirected to this page with all Questel products, Questel softwares, what is coming soon, so what will be soon implemented, and the latest releases. So what has been added to the software. You can click on one of these articles to see it more in details. Okay. Now, let's see how the interface looks like once we log in. On the left, you will see the different menus that are part of Orbit Intelligence. The first menu is about search. Then we have a module or menu called work file, where you store records, an analysis menu, an alert menu, and a PDF menu. We will mainly talk about the first menu, the search one, and go through the work file module during the second part of this session. On the bottom left of the interface, you can see an orange widget. This is the widget to the knowledge base, where you can find support articles. There are some suggested articles already there. Otherwise, you can type a topic, and the search engine will find a related article. To see one article, you simply have to click on it, and you will find the description. To see it in a larger way, we suggest to click on this external arrow, which opens a new tab on your browser, and you will see it more easily. The support articles have screenshots, have tutorials included. If you click on solutions, you will have access to the whole knowledge base. So with all categories, all chapters of this important support tool. Still about the interface, on the top right, you will find a megaphone, a bullhorn icon. If there's a red dot like here, that means that there are new features that have been released in production recently. Clicking on this icon will redirect you to the page we just seen about the latest releases. And we have a man icon on the top right. This is the user menu, where you can, of course, log out from your account. There are some user settings where you can customize your account Orbit Intelligence, and some links to tutorials and support. You have also a link to the coverage of the database of Orbit. If you have an issue, you can click on report an issue. You will be a window will open on your email software like Outlook, and automatically you will have the recipient, who is the help desk of Questel, whose address is help@questel.com. Now, let's talk about the first menu, the search menu. After you log in, you will see the easy search. The easy search is a search engine to find terms in generic terms. So you don't specify in which field you are searching for. This is recommended for I don't know, specific publication searches when you already have a reference, or to carry out broad searches. Let's see two examples. One example is a publication number. I click on the magnifier, and I'm seeing now the hit list or result list. Just a quick general information about Orbit Intelligence. Every time you have a wording in blue, that means there's a hyperlink behind. So if you click on something that is written in blue, it opens a new window or a different view. Here we have the title of his patent, the publication number, first application date, and the applicant assignee. You can see there are two arrows here on the right to restore the display. This is because there are two predefined tabs for the results. One is the preview and one is the image. All these tabs can be zoomed by clicking on these two small squares with the mouse. And now you can see I have the preview tab in my browser in a zoomed way. And the preview is made by the title, of course, a drawing, an image, protected countries list, if any, and list of publication. Then you have priority data, numbers and dates, an abstract, a list of inventors, applicant and assignees, and classification information. If I close this window, the tab will automatically reappear here. I mentioned hyperlinks. Like here, I can see aside each publication, there's a link with a Greek temple icon to access the register. If I click on here, it was a European publication, a European patent. Therefore, I'm redirected to the European Patent Office. And as well for classification, you can see all what is blue. There's means there's something behind. In this case, it's a tooltip giving you information about this specific class, for example. The second tab is about images. Here you can zoom, rotate a drawing. You can go through other drawings, etc. So this is our first study case where we have a precise publication number. Another type of search is the broadened search, but you have to pay attention because this type of search can create noise in your results. For example, here I want to search for NASA. If I run this search, I see that the system detected more than 8,000 results. But what I was looking for, so the applicant NASA is not on the first page. He detects the word in some titles, as you can see here, NASA, etc. But this refers to a Spanish word. So I have to go up to my second page of the results. So I clicked on the arrows here on the bottom, and I finally see what I was looking for. So the applicant, NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Now, this was the easy search. Now, let's have a look on other type of searches. So the semantic search. Here, the semantic search, you will find a free text box where you can enter, for example, an invention disclosure, or a claim, or a description. This type of search is not meant to be used for keywords. So not entering 1, 2, or 3 keywords. It will not be indicated because behind this semantic search, there's an algorithm that extracts concepts from what is inserted. So the larger, the more text you enter, the refinest will be the result. The system here tells you that non-English text will be sent to a third party for translation. The third party for translation is quite accurate, but if you have the text in original language and in English, it would be better to use the English text. Now, I put here an invention disclosure of a patent, and I have two options now. I can run the search, so by clicking on the bottom here, and the system is extracting concepts from the text I put in. So from the first result is the patent, the invention disclosure, the abstract I put in. So this was the text I searched for. And as you can see, there's a column here indicating that it's 100%. This column is called relevance score. So according to the system, this result is more or less pertinent to what was searched. Scrolling down the results, this relevance score decrease. So probably if we go to the last page of results, so clicking directly on this arrow, I will have a relevance score that is lower than the first result. Let's go back to the first page. And the results here are extracted according to the algorithm I mentioned, that is using concepts. So that's why it's called semantic search. But it's also gathering the classifications and the keywords. So the association of the three criteria gives this list of results. I didn't mention before, but we can see here from the results on the right, the preview, that we have more publications in the list. This is because we are talking about patent families. The specific database of orbit intelligence is called FAMPAT. And FAMPAT collects more results into families. For several publications, for different publications to be part of the same family, one of the rules that has to be respected, let's say, it's to have the same and exact priority numbers and dates. So all these documents here in the list shares this priority data, and that's why are part of the same family. This is not to be confused with the IMPADOC families that you can find in ESPASnet, for example, so on the website of a European Patent Office, because those families share just one priority data, not all of them. So the family is to be considered extended one. Here we talk about FAMPAT families. Now, let's go back to my semantic search. This was the first way. So from the text, I click search, but I have the possibility to refine the results by using this custom search wizard. So instead of showing me the results directly, the system is extracting the concepts, and a new window will appear where I can select one or more concepts to add to my list. So these are the concepts that have been picked from the system, but I can decide to exclude some of them. For example, I'm not interested in concepts related to walks, but instead I would like to add fluxed bitumen and oxidized bitumen to my search. There are even more concepts, so the list can be long. You can review all the concepts. Then once you made your selection, you can click on next, and you have a preview of what the result list would look like. So here you have a preview of a hit list, and you can choose, for example, to pick just the first 3 results, and by clicking on the box, ticking on the box, and then run the search. Okay. Now let's have a look on another type of search, the so-called number search. Here in this section, you can search for different type of numbers: publications, applications, priority numbers, application or priority numbers, or any patent number. Here I choose publication numbers. I had a list on a file, so I pasted this publication numbers. You can insert these numbers like this one. So if you have, for example, a column in an Excel file, this will appear. This would be the format then, but you can also use the comma or a simple space between publication numbers would be enough for the system to detect different type of publication numbers. Here you have 2 options as well. The search only exact matches, so you are sure that the numbers you entered are correct, and you will look. You want to look for these numbers in the system of Orbit Intelligence. Another option, and this is what we support team suggests to our customers, is to always use the smart number search. Why? Because before displaying the hit list, we have an interesting overview, this results summary. So from the 120 publication numbers that I put into the search box, the system found 54 results. 16 have been detected as duplication, and 1 has not been recognized. So if I click on the small arrow close to the details, I can see more in details. Sorry for the repetition. More in details what the results look like. So, for example, the system detected this duplicated number, this German patent, that is also inserted here. Then the system already collects the different publication numbers in one family. So that's why we have one result on the right. And this family, the original patent is a Spanish one, so this one. And all these other publications are part of the same family. If I hover the mouse on the result, I have a quick overview, the title of the patent family, the assignee, representative publication number, and the matched publications. Then I put a random number. If I scroll down, I put this American patent with a non-existing reference, and that's why the system says it's not recognized. So before running the search, I can already detect what was not detected, and I can then review my list before running the search. If I click on OK, I validate, and that's why I'm redirected to this hit list of 54 results. Another interesting option in the number search is the upload file. So if you have a file, usually it's an Excel file, but you can see here different formats are compatible with this function. You can import in the system. So by clicking on Browse, you can select your file that you stored in your PC, select which column to import, and what type of number it is. So here, publication number, for example. The system will then extract these numbers and will show you the hit list. Okay, if I want to go to my last hit list, to my last result list that I displayed, I can simply click here, search results. So this is my last hit list with 54 families. And I want to spend some time showing you the different customization that are available in the system. The first option that you can customize is the preview tab here. There's a button, as you can see, edit preview, where you can choose which fields to display under this tab. By default, these are the fields to display, and these are the available fields. So for example, if I'm interested in the patent assignee history of a family, I tick this option, and with the arrow, I put it in the fields to display. Same, I can do it for reassignment, and maybe I'm interested also in the application numbers and dates. I can also decide where to display these fields. So by drag the field and dropping it, I'm now saying to the system I want this field of application numbers and dates to be displayed just after the priority. Same for the patent assignee. I want to be displayed just below the applicant assignee field. And I can do it for the assignment. So you can play, let's say, with all these fields. I validate, and now my preview tab will have these additional fields: the application numbers and dates, the history, any reassignments. This is not the case, where there are no reassignments for this family. But now I have a customized view of my preview tab. Now I want you to focus on the central part of this result list, because I didn't mention, but as you can maybe as you can notice already, there are three panels. One left panel with a menu, then there's a filter tab and an explorer tab. The central body, the central pane, where we have the results, and the right panel or pane, where you have the different tabs. Now I want to focus on the hit list display, so on the results list. If I click here, this is the compact view to see the results. Another option that is widely used is the abstract. In this case, from the central pane, we already see an abstract of a family and the main drawing, the main image. I can also choose or opt only for drawing. This might be interesting when you run searches on utility models or on designs. This can be a nice option to choose of. You can decide also all drawings instead of the first one. And you see the first result with all the drawings. Or you can customize your view. So you click on Edit first. And similar as the Preview tab, here you have a section with the fields to display. and the available fields on the left. So, for example, have in my customized view, I had already the earliest application date and priority date added to my fields. I can here as well drag and drop these fields. If I confirm, you can see now that these columns have been added to my view. Of course, I can switch back to my compact view or to my abstract one. Another customization that is possible in the system from a list of results are the filters. The filters are displayed here in this tab, and you have some options that are already displayed by default. So the legal status filter, the first application year, assignee, litigations, and opposition. But you can click on filter options and add other filters to your list, like the first publication year. You have also some classifications filter available. You can see, for example, publication country has been added to my filter. And if I click on one of these filter, the hit list automatically updates with only the results that I'm interested in. Something I wanted to remind you, because this is a quite frequent question at the help desk, is customers that are using the filters and say, but why do I see this this family if it doesn't match what I filtered? This is because you have to keep in mind that we are talking about patent families. So if at least one of these members matches the criteria of your filter, then the results will appear. Meaning, for example, here I can see the first result has a red box. The red box indicates that the family is dead, has a legal status where all family members are expired, lapsed, or revoked. The result below with a blue box means that the family is alive, where at least one family member is granted or pending. So if, for example, in this family, we have, well, this is not the case because there's just one member, but if, for example, one member is lapsed and the other is still granted, the whole family will be considered alive and will have the blue box. So it will appear once I filter the alive. Same applies for all the other filters. So like here, the first result, I had filtered by EP as publication country, but I also see the other publications. And you can, of course, apply more than one filter at the same time. So I choose, for example, first publication year after between 2016 and 2020, and I see my filter result of 10 families. Okay. Now, before going to the main the main search, the most used one, the advanced one. I just check if there are some questions about what we just went through. So there's a question about the semantic search and why, maybe I rerun this search, why the last result had relevance score of 99%. Keep in mind that this is an algorithm, so the system is suggesting you the pertinence, the relevance to what was searched. In this case, in my example, the last result had a high relevance score. But if you run another search, another semantic search, you will probably have different percentage, and the last result can have, I don't know, 60% of relevance score, or 75 or 80. So this is just an indicator. Don't take it as precise science. Let's say it's an algorithm with where the system suggests you something. Okay, then there's another questions about the filters that we just saw. Can you filter EP as publication country and all EP countries such as IT, ES, FR at the same time? You can. So let's let's load the filter about publication countries. So there's an option to add multiple countries where you can put EP. And you can see as soon as I type a letter, I have a suggestion. So you can filter by like this, EPES. And you will find both results. This is a very large family. Okay. Now, let's talk about the advanced search. The advanced search is the module where you can combine different criteria that are listed here. So keywords, classifications, names, numbers, dates and country, legal status, litigations, and other minor fields. Today we will talk about the keyword search and the name search. So the keywords. Here is where you can search for one or more keywords, and you can specify in which field of a patent you want to look for, or want to look in. So title, abstract claims, descriptions, and other text fields. You can add another box up to 9, and these 2 boxes are linked with the Boolean operator AND. That means what I will put here, the system will search what I will put here, and the results that are also matching the keywords that I will put here. Now, for example, title and abstract and claims. I want to just keep title and abstract, and I run a search on radiation monitor. Before starting the search, maybe if somebody has interesting topics where we can focus with advanced search, please feel free to to put it here in the questions section, so we can run a study case from some keywords that you are interested in to see the results. Anyway, let's start with my example, radiation monitor. If I run the search, you can see that the two words, the two terms, search terms, are highlighted in yellow in everywhere that it was found. So in the title, in the abstract, in the title here as well, in the abstract here. Now, there are some dedicated tabs for the text fields. So you can click on the plus button here and add to your view. We have, for example, a claims tab. You can see the highlighting is applied on this text as well. You can add the description. And you can also add, for example, the key content, where you have a section about the independent claims. Now, if this highlighting confuses you and you don't want to appear, so you don't want this color to appear on your screen, you simply click on the pencil icon here to hide the color. The two terms are still in bold, but they are not colored anymore. And you can, again, reactivate this function. The color of the highlighting can be decided here. So clicking on the box, you can, for example, decide to have a different color for these terms. Now, there are, let's say, two tools, two variations that can be used here in the keywords criteria that are the operators, the Boolean operators, and the truncations. So, as I said before, the two search boxes here are connected by the Boolean operator AND. But what if I want to search for one term or another? You simply type the operator here, and you can see that this operator is now highlighted in blue. And so we can run the search just to see the difference. The search list, the result list before had 700, approximately 700 families. Of course, putting an or, I will get much more results than before. If I don't put any operator, the system will look for radiation monitor. From the results list before, I maybe noticed that something was missing. I'm not satisfied with the results because something is missing. You have the possibility to look for different variants of a term by using the truncations. Truncations replaces characters before or after a term. The list of truncations and operators are available in our support article. So if you click on the widget, build queries using truncations and operators, and I enlarge the view for you. So of course, the three Boolean operators are or, and not. And then we have three truncations available. A plus that replaces any number of characters after or before a term. The question mark that replaces 0 or 1 character. and the hashtag, the pound sign, that replaces exactly one character. So what's the difference between the two? And the examples from the support article here, bicycle and a question mark, it will search for bicycle singular, but also for the plural form with bicycles with an S at the end of a word. Aluminium, like this, it will search for aluminum without any characters between N and U, but also aluminium with an I between the two characters. That's why it replaces 0 or 1 character. The pound sign instead is replacing exactly one character. So here there has to be one character between I and A. This case, for example, is polymerization written with an S, British English, or with a Z, American English. So in order not to miss any results, this is a useful tool that you can use for your searches. In my example, instead of monitor, I want to add different variation. For example, thinking of monitors, plural, or maybe monitoring, I can add my truncations like this. So I put 3 question marks, meaning that I want the system, the search engine, to look for monitor or any other terms that have 3 characters after monitor. If I run the search, I can see, for example, that monitors has been detected. Other variations, probably monitoring somewhere. Monitoring, radiation monitoring. So all these results could have been missed from my previous search. And I see that the results, in fact, are higher than before. So from the 700, now I have more than 2000 results. I can use other search boxes if I want to search for other terms in other text fields. For example, I keep claims description and I put detector. You can see that the term that I search, so detector in claims and description, is also highlighted elsewhere. So in all text fields that have found this term. In this case, it's an abstract. If I go to the claims tab, I don't see detector in it, but okay, let's take the second example where in the description there are the 2 terms, and maybe it's hard to see at a first glance, but every time I use keyword search with the highlighting, I have this column added to the right. That helps me finding the term. So I know that the detector is in purple. I can click directly on this bar to find the section where this term was found. And you can do it also for other tabs. If you if you don't use operators or truncations, so in my case, detector, you have another tool available that can help you finding similar terms if you're not satisfied with the result list, but maybe you want to broaden your search. That can be found under this magic stick. Clicking on the magic stick, it will open to you this window, the wizard window, with two tabs. One is the relevant concepts that is now loading because it's extracting all concepts that can be similar or related to detector. And let's see maybe the multilingual dictionary. The multilingual dictionary is available in 3 different languages, French, English, and German. So it can help, it could help you adding synonyms in English for detector, like sensor, or add German and French synonyms to your search, like Anzeiger, detector, etc., and detecteur, capteur, etc. If I click on OK, you can see the syntax will of course change. Now going back to my advanced search, and let's put again the detector. Let's wait the system to detect concepts. Okay, so of course you find the same word, and if you click on the small arrow, you will find sub-concepts that you can add to your search. It can take some time. It's perfectly normal if it's loading, because it's the system is looking into, let's say, the lexicon available. So for example, it detects amplification, controller, detection signal, but I can add to my search. Electric signal can be interesting maybe for my photo detector, comparator. So I can choose, I can add different options. And when I validate, you can see the terms are now in red, and the text field changed from claims and description into concepts. Again, the concepts are extracted thanks to an algorithm that is the similar to the one used by the semantic search. So I'm expecting now to have more results than before, because I broadened my search and select concepts instead of just claims and description. Okay. Another thing that it's interesting about the key advanced search. And I go back to my claims and description, and maybe I can put a detector, not sensor. So I can use the operators, the Boolean operators, as you have seen. And an interesting thing, if you're running similar searches for different projects, for example, is the option to create highlighting profiles. So here, based on the keyword search just run, you can save this profile into your account so that you can find it in another time. I can also add other colors and other terms just for a review purpose. So I don't know, maybe I can add monitor in blue. I can, of course, change the color I choose. And I can save my profile. Sorry, something was missing. Oh, yeah, I put the same color, sorry. I wanted green. And okay, now I have a different thing. So you can see that you can highlight other terms, other keyword, once you run the search for your review purpose. And this additional color, this additional term, so monitor in my example, is also reflected in the column on the right. So to quickly detect in which part of the text the term is found. Another interesting tool when running keyword searches is a tab called Quick. This tab can be, of course, added here from the options available. So clicking on the plus, there's the Quick tab. Quick means keyword in context. So here, basically the system shows you where the terms have been found, in which section of a text, using a blue range, a blue range scale. So the less frequent the term has been found, the brighter the blue is, and the most frequent it would be then a darker blue. And then you have a summary by hit keywords. So summarizing the part of a text where these terms have been found. So English title, English abstract, and English claims. You have in brackets for which member of a family. You can scroll down to find all part of text where this is available. And you can see, for example, in this results, detector is more frequent than radiation and monitor. You can see also from the column here. That was a large family. Here we have only one member, and that's why it's simpler maybe to the summary by hit keywords. Other truncations, other operators that are available, so not only or and not, the Boolean ones, are the proximity operators, where you can search for two terms in the same field, in the same sentence, in the same paragraph, using these this type of operators. And you can also use parentheses for nesting different terms. Now let's have a look on a bigger family with more members. Okay, let's have a look. So what we saw till now, this view, is the hit list view, the result view. And as I said, you can customize, you can add tabs by using the plus, you can enlarge the central pane, but you have a detailed view. So if you click on the title of the result, you are now in a family view. So you can see the family view with all members. And you can select a precise publication. So you can focus, for example, on the Japanese member. And you can see that the highlighting stays. And you can also see that the tabs changed. So we have some tabs now available in the central pane and some others that are on the right one. You can customize as you want. So for example, there's the quick in the center, the keyword in context. You can decide to have it displayed on the right. Of course, nothing is displayed because now I'm focusing on a precise member. So it's not comparing terms. But I can do the same for the claims, for example. So have the claims here, and it will disappear from the central part. Maybe I click on family view, and another maybe comparing thing that could be interesting is to have on one side the legal status, and on the other a tab called timeline. Sorry. So basically the source, the data is the same, it's legal. It's showing you the status of the different members. And as you can see here, the PCT document is considered lapsed, but other members like the European or on the bottom, the Japanese one is granted. And here on the right, the timeline is showing you in a graph the timeline of the events. So if you hover on the mouse about an event, so for the WO, when it starts to be red, so bright red, so lapsed, it's because the PCT application validity period expired. And this is the year, so between 2018 and 2019. And you can do it everywhere in the graph, is interactive. Or you can also focus on the events, on the legal events, by clicking on the small arrows close to the flag, for example. And here you have the full list of events. Highlighted in green are legal events that are considered positive, whilst red events are considered, red lines are considered as negative legal events. And you can, of course, compare this data if you want from the register. Other tabs that appear here is the first page. So in this case, I'm with a view for European, with the first page of the original document that you can then download or print, or the complete documentation. So with the whole pages of this patent. Now I'm going back to the list. And the legal status, it can be added also at result view. So you, of course, you can click legal status and you can add it into when you see the results. So for example, here the family is with a red dot. So with all family members that are either expired, lapsed, or revoked. And on the right, I see there's only one member, a GB publication, but is expired. Let's have a look on this example. Here, for example, 2 members are either pending or granted. So that's why the whole family has a blue dot. It's considered alive. And this is reflected into the filters. So if I click on alive, and then I can also put a filter on just pending. But as I told you, now in this case, we have only one member that is pending. Let me check another example for you. So here, we have 2 pending members, but we have also other members in this family that are inserted because one of the members match the filter. So this was about the advanced search. I quickly show you a new version of advanced search because after a long development project, our developers designed a new interface that will be soon available for you. You can already had a look on it if you connect to a beta version of your accounts. So basically, instead of going to orbit.com, www.orbit.com, you can connect to beta.orbit.com with your credentials, so same email, same password, and you can see this new version. I quickly show you to you here, but of course we won't focus the training on the new interface. I just see where. Okay. So this is how the new advanced search will look like, and you can see graphically it's different. You will have a scope on the right. So as soon as you enter some terms like radiation monitor, and you can see how the scope updates. And the news is that you can use Boolean operators between search boxes. So before it was just and, now you can use or. And you can choose in which fields to choose from. So it's a bit different and maybe more user-friendly because there are many search fields, many search criteria that can be used in Orbit Intelligence, not just terms. So this is how it will look like before the end of a year in production. This now is available only on the beta version of Orbit Intelligence. Okay, now I gave you this preview, and I probably talked about another criteria. So I clear my pattern here, my search pattern, by clicking on clear. But of course, I can combine 2 or more criteria. But I want to focus now on the names fields. This is where you can search for assignees, inventors, and representative. So there are two different ways to search for an applicant or an assignee by typing the name directly in the search box, and you can type more than one. For example, I don't know, let's say, I take as an example two Italian companies, any or ML. As you can see, the Boolean operator is highlighted in blue, and you can run the search like this. So you are looking for the portfolio, the patent portfolio of these two companies, of these two applicants. And it will find everything that has these two terms in the patent assignee field. Of course, you can search only for one assignee, and I don't know, Samsung. You can also include in your search, let's say you're doing a search on your competitors and you want to see the portfolio, but you're interested also in the historical one. So patents that have been reassigned to other companies. So you can untick this option, search only current assignee, and you can look for the historical portfolio of this company. Well, there's a huge portfolio here. Want to just to highlight you the fact that under the column applicant assignee of your result or in the preview tab, if you click on the on one of these boxes, you will open a window called entity card. This entity card is giving you insights on this applicant. So how many patents and inventions there are in the database, and we are key inventions. So if there are any events like litigations or opposition, the legal status of his portfolio, top technical domains, so computer technology, telecommunication, and so on. So the bigger the word is, the most frequent is the technical domain operated by this applicant. Market coverage is showing you the number of patent families per protection country. So if you hover your mouse on a specific country, you can see the amount of the patent families that are protected. There's a range scale, as you can see, different colors, different blues, and also a chart, a technology investment trend over the last 20 years. And investment trends basically is built, this analysis on the number of patent families by application year. So you will always see in any graph the last 2 years decreasing because we don't have all the information. And I'm looking for if there's another example where there's a parent company maybe. I can maybe filter. No. So this one, for example, this is an applicant that has only filed 109 patent inventions, but you can see the information about the parent company, Samsung Electronics, and then associated revenue. So speaking of parent companies, there's a way to, a better way for patent portfolio searches on your portfolio or on your competitors. First of all, you have to be to make sure that this is ticked, because the portfolio searches using a function called corporate tree has to have activated this option. And instead of running the search, sorry, Google, directly here, you click on this icon that is the corporate tree, powered by our partner, FactSet. This is interesting because you might not think of, but you don't only look for where Google is in the patent assignee field, but if you're running a competitor portfolio search, you want to add maybe the mother company. And here you have an estimate patent family count already. So not only you're including all these applicants in your search, but also subsidiaries not containing keywords. So for example, very life science, you wouldn't have think of, but it's part of Alphabet. So it's the same parent company, and you want all these companies included in your search. And you can see the icon appears here. Then you can simply run the search. Now we come to the last point of the agenda today, save and export the results. Let's talk about the export. So in order to export the results from any hit list, you have to select at least one record. So either you select here, 1, 2, 3, and so on, or you have a selection button here where you can select all records, or you can give a range. So I want to export only the first 100 results, for example. You see, select 100. And once the selection has been done, you will see this bar is not grayed out anymore, but these icons are now active. The icon for the export is this one. So you click on the small arrow, click on export, and you will see the different export options. So there are different formats allowed: Excel, PDF, CSV, and so on. These are the fields you are going to export, and this is fully customizable. So if you want to add to your export, to your PDF export file, publication numbers are already there, application numbers, you can do it, and you can drag and drop where these fields should be shown on the document. You can remove images, for example. Once you have customized these fields, you can choose to download the report, the export file, or to email. You are obliged to use the email format if you're exporting more than 1,000 patent families. So up to 1,000, like in my case 100, you can choose between the two options. From 1,000 onwards, you are obliged to use the email. Simply, if you click on email, this is by default the account, the email address used for this account. You can change the subject of the email, include any comments. If you click send, you will receive a link where you can download the file in the format you choose. Otherwise, you can simply download the export file and the system will extract quite quickly. So here you see you have a list, and where is blue is the hyperlink, like in Orbit Intelligence. So if you click, you jump directly to the result. You have link to the registers on the file, or link to the PDF copy of this patent, also on the export file. Similarly to the highlighting profiles that we saw here, you can also save export profiles. So if you always export the same fields, it will be I think it will be helpful for you to have this saved as a profile, and the next time you will connect to your Orbit Intelligence account, you can choose the profile and then export. You see how the fields change. You can even decide to keep the highlighting if you run a keyword search. In the advanced option, you will find the highlighting colors in the file you will export, PDF, Excel, or whatever the format you choose. Then this was about the export. Now I want to save these results. There are two types of storage items in, let's say, in Orbit Intelligence. One are the list, the saved lists, and the other are the so-called work files. What's the difference between the two? Let's say lists are dynamic. So once you saved and you open, they are updated to the last FAM path, so the last database update. Work files are, let's say, static, so you need to update them manually. But the work files give you more options that we will go through now in a second. Before, I want to show you how to store these results. So you click on, once you made a selection, you click on the suitcase icon. This is my portfolio. So what is all the folders I created in the past, and that are available in the Explorer tab and also in the work file module here. I can choose to create a new directory first, a new folder. So say alphabet. Okay. I created my folder, and then I decide to create a new list. So the dynamic list I was telling you. The only mandatory field is the name, the description, and the sort key are optional. Now I select the new list, clicking on OK. The system will import my 100 results in it. And you can see it appears directly into my recent list, Alphab list. Again, this can be found in the Explorer. So this is my portfolio with all folders and directories I created. So alphabet portfolio, alphab list. And the same view is available in the work file module. So the second icon here. Now, just want to show you the difference between the lists and the work files. So the list is dynamic. Let's say I open this list in 6 months. Maybe one new publication stage has been added to a family, or a new application in another country with sharing the same priority data is in the system, so it's added, I will see it immediately. I will select maybe the first, this current page with 25 results and duplicate them into a new work file. So I click on this icon, new work file. I select my new work file and I import the results in it. Just for your information, the database is updated on weekly basis on Sundays. So on Monday, you will see the updated results with the new data we receive from the patent registers. Now let's see this new work file. So you can type from the Explorer or going to the module. I want to go through all functionalities of a work file module, also because I now see that the 1.5 hour scheduled for this training is almost over, but you can already see that there are tags. So here is new because I added new documents into this file, into this work file. So if next week I will add the new documents, this label will apply only to the new documents. I have a tab attachments, so I can insert file for the whole work file from here, from my computer. You have an attachment tab on the right, so you can attach files from your computer just to one family or to another. You have notes as like comments that you can add to this family, and you can link to one or more. In this case, there's just one publication, but you can choose between the members of a family, and you can enter a title of the comment and a text, a free text. Another interesting option is an evaluation. So you can give a rank to these families, saying for my project, this family is very important. I click on the star, I give this family 5 stars. After reviewing, this family is less important, I give a 2-star ranking. And this ranking can be filtered because the filters in the work files are different from the search module. So, for example, you can choose ranking between 3 and 5 stars, apply, and I can now see only the result that was very important for my project. Keep in mind to deactivate the filter afterwards, because sometimes customers contact help desk saying we lost some files, but simply deactivating the filters, you will see again the full list that you stored before. Now, going back to my search menu, and I wanted to talk about saved searches and how to retrieve different past queries. So I click now on search history. In the search history, there's the memory, the history of this session of connection. That means that tomorrow, when I reconnect again to this Orbit Intelligence account, I won't find these queries anymore, because this is just per session. So it's active till we don't disconnect, and or the 8 hours of connection deactivation are over. If I want to look for past queries, I go to another module called previous history. In this previous history, I can see queries that I ran since last year. I can even filter them. So I don't know, I don't remember exactly when, but I know I ran a search in June last year. So I can quickly filter and say, please, system, display only the queries that I ran from the 1st of June till the 1st of December last year. And then I can go down the list. If I want to see the results again, I simply click on Run. So radiation monitor, etc., etc., that I ran on the 7th of November, I can run again. I can see the updated hit list, and this query will be now available also in the search history, the active one. Here it is. And in this module, the search history one, is where I can, of course, show results. So today we saw different type of searches. For example, we saw the number search or the semantic search. So by clicking on show results, I can quickly jump back to my previous result list. But from here, I also have the possibility to save this search for the future. So let's say, I don't know, maybe this combination of words, of key terms with the synonyms in different languages was interesting. I want to save it in my account. I find the ticket. Sorry, I find the link here. Save. I simply give this search a name. Radiation monitor synonyms. Synonyms 2023. Okay. I save, or I can save and execute. I will find this saved search in the dedicated module, my saved search. So I can execute these saved searches every time I want. I can, of course, modify, and I can delete from my account. So I ran a search on the applicant Shiseido once, and I can execute the portfolio search again. So it will be quicker to find the results, for example. Okay. I think I covered all the points of the agenda so far. I hope it was not too much information. I know that for beginners or for users that haven't used orbit intelligence so much, it's much to learn. But be assured that the more you practice, the more you will be familiar with. Okay, let's have now the Q&A session. So I leave it to you to submit questions in the dedicated section here of the webinar. I come back in 1 minute and see if there are new questions from you. Okay, see, there's a question that arrived just before I handle the advanced search. When a patent or patent application is flagged as dead, the first indicator is the box from the results. So if it's blue, as I said, it's considered to be alive. So at least one family is granted or pending. And if you have the red box like this one, with all family members have the legal event expired, lapsed, or revoked. For more details on the event, you can add the legal status tab to your view and see why a member is revoked, for example, expired or lapsed. I have another question. Could you give a brief summary about the advanced training module? So the advanced training module is scheduled tomorrow and at 3 p.m. Central European time. These are the topics that will be handled, and by chance it's still me, the trainer, tomorrow as well. So we'll cover just few points of today. Like, of course, the keyword search is very important, so I will quickly review that. We will talk about results sharing, setting up monitors, using the command line, not only the advanced search forms, other advanced searches, so not only the applicant or the keyword searches that we saw today, and the classification search. The agenda is available on the web page where you subscribed. So if you go to Questel.com, you will find the section dedicated to the trainings, and for the free webinars of Orbit Intelligence, you will find the agenda. Maybe I can quickly tell you, write you the URL of this page. Okay. In the meanwhile, if you have other questions, you can feel free to enter them. Okay. So I put it here. Sorry, probably in the chat. This is the link where you can find the list of all free training sessions for Orbit Intelligence. I can also write you the email address of our help desk, that is help@questel.com. Okay, and I think this is it for today. I just looking if there are any other questions. No, okay. So thank you for participating, for having subscribed. As I said at the beginning of the session, follow-up message will be sent to the registered people with an official email address. So for those who have subscribed with a Gmail, Yahoo, or Hotmail address, please send the correct address to training@questel.com, and we will send you the follow-up with a video recording and any other useful links like the Orbit database, knowledge base. I thank you for watching, for listening to me, and if you have any other questions, feel free to contact the help desk or the training team. Thank you for watching, and see you probably next time. Bye-bye.